Now, I know this might put you in danger saying it on the show. Do we want to? Do we want to take bets on Bradzilla?
Oh, she already. That's actually funny. One of the first things she said is, "Oh well, no." The first thing she said is yes. Second thing is, why did it take you so long? And third is, I can't wait to be a bridezilla. No, she's totally down. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Jumps down and slides down the hill. I see shots going above his head.
So she's like, oh, great, on her one day off, you're trying to romance this Pan Am chick. I'm like, honey, it's V, it's not me. Come on.
Brought back some old Catholic school memories, did it?
Oh man, yeah. You just okay. You know the DMV sloth.
I know you're going with this.
Yeah. This guy.
You're listening to On the Rewind.
Okay, you're listening to On the Rewind. We're on 101.3 FM, Amherst Island Radio, and anywhere else you listen to podcasts. This is a Neon Blinds media production, and thank you for listening this week. All right, Derek, how you doing?
We struggled for that one.
Yeah, it took a few tries, but we're finally doing it. And actually, before we start, I'd like to apologize for my audio. We are currently just in the middle of construction on a new studio of sorts, or my office. And yeah, haven't really put up any of the audio panels yet, but we're getting there.
It's not bad on my end, but that might be the Discord compression system.
Yeah, usually Discord's pretty good and forgiving, but yeah. So far so good. I do feel a little bit of an echo coming back, but that should be fixed by next show. Speaking of which, did you know if you are shipped compressed audio panels, you actually have to soak them?
Really?
Yeah, so like I bought that like that cornered foam almost that you see on a lot.
Okay, like all the YouTubers behind them, in front of them, around them.
Yeah, usually they have like the straight lines, but then they offset them to kind of give like a pattern. This one is just like pyramids almost.
Okay, pyramids. That's cool. Like
yeah,
out towards or like upwards?
Outwards.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, so I got them and they were like super compressed, like paper thin. And they said you could either leave them for 48 hours or you could soak them in warm water and let them air dry for 48 hours. So I thought it was a misprint because there were so many misprints on this ad that about soaking. So I let them out for 48 hours and nothing happened. Like they puffed up a bit, but like nothing close to what I needed. And yeah, so I finally bit the bullet, filled the tub with warm water. I put them in, and I kid you not, it was instant. They like puff up to like perfect size, what you need. And you wring dry them, and I've been leaving them out. They actually should be, after this recording, done and ready to go.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm excited.
Yeah, we're gonna be playing around with the idea of recording instead of doing pretty much pandemic protocol.
Yeah.
Actually do our first couple at lives and we'll actually get reactions.
Yeah, so it's actually going to be kind of nice. I'm having, just for the viewers at home, I took the downstairs bedroom that I made when I first moved in here for a 3-bedroom when I thought I loved roommates. Took that over, made it an office, and the cabinets that are on each side of my desk are so big that I've actually ended up making one of them a recording box, studio, whatever you'd like to think. Pretty much it's big enough to have me not lean into it, but stand next to it comfortably and have audio foam in there. There's the microphone, there's a MacBook, some neon lights. And yeah, I actually, for the first, 4 minutes in, and I'm kind of loving it.
Nice.
I don't know, the energy's pretty high because I'm just standing up and kind of, yeah. We'll see how it sounds in the mic. I don't know if I'm rocking back and forth and the audio's coming in and out, but yeah.
It's in and out.
Then, yeah.
But it's It's something. You'll hear it.
um, but yeah, and also we have a pretty open space just to the right of the desk, and I'm looking at a love seat or something that will fit perfectly in there that Derek and I could probably take over and shoot some live episodes in here. It's a pretty long room, so a camera would set up pretty nicely where I am, and yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
and if
kind
we're
of turned
doing
out
live
pretty cool.
episodes and if we do video, I'll actually have a reason to get haircuts more than once every 3 months.
Yeah, no, we'll even hire like a makeup artist and all that. Make sure we all look pretty.
Oh, yeah?
But yeah. After I get the sign and all this like sound stuff up, all I gotta do next is upgrade the PC. There's nothing really left.
Yeah, well, I'm happy for you that you got that nice little space.
Yeah, it's funny though. The PC looks really dinky in it now.
Yeah,
So
you're gonna get one of those ones with all the RGB and everything else like that.
actually, that's a really good segue. I saw a picture because I've been on PC Part Picker almost every other day. There's ones that are almost all black, but then the lights on them are like a very, very like light blue. Like it's almost like a white with a tint of blue or a tint of purple.
Okay.
And I fell in love with that look.
Make sure there's efficient airflow. Otherwise, you're just gonna have a jet engine.
Yeah, that's why Cody did build some cabinets to the side that would fit a PC, but I'm like I kind of like it up top. Kind of like it
If you have one of those ones where you can see the innards and make it all pretty, then you kind of want something that you got room for up top.
Yeah, I'm getting one that almost it looks like a corner office where there's like glass that goes all the way around to
Oh,
one
yeah.
corner, so you can see all in it. And
I've
yeah.
seen those, and there's some pretty cool builds you can do with those, especially if you get some vertical mounts.
Yeah.
Where you,
Yeah.
where you have the graphics card pretty much facing, like the fans facing you, and yeah.
Yeah, thinking about that. Also, I want to kind of try and find some PC cooler that has that like that virtual screen on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I've seen some really cool things. Like someone has a hamster running on it that makes it look like it's powering the PC, and I love that. um, but yeah. So far, so good with this.
I feel like you're
But
just
yeah,
gonna put your Neon Blinds logo on it.
yeah. I actually, as soon as I said that, I realized that's probably what I'm going to do. But yeah. Besides that, how was your week?
It's getting along. New job's going good. It was an assembling position that has now turned into a welding position.
Yeah.
For now, that's probably gonna end up going back to it. But yeah, first time building something this big on my own. Thank God I have the techniques.
Yeah.
But man, there are some things I would like to say that I can't say on the radio side. But to put it blunt, Big Boss complimented my welds, and I said they were awful in a very Irish swearing thing to myself. But not to him. And they weren't bad. It was just, well, I hadn't welded in a few months and I felt rusty.
Yeah, they weren't up to your standard.
The first couple were not.
Yeah.
They'd pass an inspection, but they weren't pretty. But
That's nice.
other than that, I managed to throw my back out and pop something in my spine. Not at work, at home, getting ready for work, putting on my boot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you like bend down weird, or is
Yeah,
there
so
like...
I bent over, I grabbed my boot, so I'm balancing on one leg and then
Yeah.
pulling on the side of the boot and shoving my foot into the boot. And as I'm doing that, there's just a pop in my spine, and down I go.
Oh, frig.
Yeah, and
God
so
damn.
I am able to walk around. I look and walk and sound like a 60-year-old. Like when I squat down to pick someone up, I'm putting one hand on my thigh as I'm going down and doing like Pilates. I am sore and I'm still throwing stuff and welding stuff together and getting down on the hands and knees.
Yeah, yeah. I never really experienced back pain until this year, and I can't. Yeah, I actually can sympathize now with
Yeah.
people.
And I
It
gotta
is
lift
like one of
heavy
the worst things.
things still every day.
Yeah, yeah. No, I just complain about back pain when I'm like just sitting there. It's like I can't imagine actually doing something.
Yeah. But other than that, it's been going good.
D-
I'm waiting for the back pain to subside. That or I'm gonna have to go to a chiropractor or something soon.
Yeah, yeah. It's one of those things that like, yeah, it's supposed to heal, but then you also kind of have to actively work on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, to kind of just help it heal along or help it along.
Nah, just ibuprofen like Tic Tacs, that's all.
Yeah, no, that's totally healthy.
Just Mandalorian, this is the way. Just a whole bunch of blue collar with hard hats instead of the Mando masks. This is the way.
Oh God.
I felt a little too. I got myself with that one. Like personally attacked, but I'm the one saying it. Anyway, so I got a list of some games that are coming out for May since we're at the beginning of the month.
Yeah. So what's happening?
one already came out, Redfall, which we mentioned last episode, was kind of on the way. Was the 4-player kind of co-op, kind of looter shooter.
Yeah.
So it's reviewing in a weird place. It's very mixed. Some people love it, some people hate it. It's one of those like if you love it, you love it. You hate it, you hate it. But the concept's cool.
Yeah, there's no in between.
Yeah.
All right.
So are you familiar with Warhammer?
A bit. I actually find it very interesting to watch sometimes if I get in the mood, but I've never actually personally played it.
Okay. Do you know the 40K universe? Where it's like the outer space and the big Marines and the mech armor and stuff like that?
No.
Okay. Well, Warhammer 40K Bolt Gun, which is pretty much a very well done old school like Doom style, but done in kind of like with modern tools. Like it's 2D. It's 2D characters with like 3D animations and 3D environment.
Yeah.
Done in the same vein of old school Doom, but as fast as kind of the new Doom. But it's with the 40K universe. So that actually looks really cool. It comes out on the 23rd. On everything, Switch included. Next up the bat. Are you familiar with the Amnesia franchise? The one PewDiePie got famous for.
That's all I was gonna say. So I know that PewDiePie played it at one point. No, I just recently started getting into horror games, so I've never personally played that. I watched it a smidgen, not a lot.
Okay. Well, the whole concept of Amnesia, well, it's a horror game, and you're hiding from the monsters, so you're never really combative. Whereas Amnesia the Bunker, it takes place in World War One, and you do get a gun. And it's the first Amnesia game where you get to fight back.
All right, so they kind of went from like an Outlast to a Resident Evil 7.
I wouldn't call it quite Resident Evil 7. I think it's I don't know. I feel like the gun's gonna be a deterrent, not a fix.
Okay. And why?
just based off of how Amnesias have played before, is that even like you can do traps, you can kind of parkour your way through the map to get away from the monster you hide. Whereas
Yeah.
I think it's going to be one of those you get the gun. I don't think you're going to kill whatever's after you. Just the gut sinking feeling is it's going to be the shoot it so it leaves you alone for now, or incapacitate something, or maybe there's some smaller creatures you got to handle.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why it kind of reminds me of Resident Evil 7 where like you could shoot Jack and it would slow him down enough to run away, but you can also kill those weird little moss mutant fungus things if you headshot them enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Another one. This it's different. Sea of Stars. It's kind of this platformer. You're this like little sprite in this 3D world where you're creating life and like almost like a World at War Zombies map, like kind of
Oh,
aesthetic, but the whole world like it's kind of like the end of the world, but no, actually, no, I'm mixing that up. That's the After Us. I'm sorry.
okay.
But yeah, and then that comes out as well on the 23rd for PS5. It's nothing looks it doesn't look too fancy. It's just enough to kind of it's a game that's a game. It's not like
Yeah.
it's not like somewhere you're like, oh, there's microtransactions or anything like that. It's like, no, it looks like there's a beginning and end, and if you kind of, I don't know, the aesthetic stuff for me, the name was really cool, but then I'm also like, there's Last of Us and other games like that, so kind of like the After Us sounds like it's like Days Gone, like anything that sounds like the end of something. Has been a good game with it. The style here is just not for me.
Yeah.
Um, Fun thing, Street Fighter 6 has released their demo on the consoles, and they got
Oh,
and they have the local fighting on them,
oh
so you
no
can
way.
practice with your buddies and try and get ready with the limited roster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe we're at 6. Or like, it's just it feels weird. Like I still remember going to Barcadia before the pandemic and playing Street Fighter 2.
That's funny, yeah. I've personally never was really into much fighter games. I used to play probably two a little bit, but Injustice was the thing that really got me into somewhat of a like Street Fighter style esque game.
That was more in the Mortal Kombat vein because that was the people that, same companies.
Yeah, yeah, but I don't know. I'm excited. Always brings out like a new breed of gamer every time something like that comes out, right?
Yeah. But other than that, it's kind of like Lego has a game coming out May 19th.
Ooh.
Yeah. Um Lego 2K Drive.
Oh, actually, yep, yep. I saw something on that. That looks kind of cool.
Yeah, I haven't checked it out myself. What have you seen on it?
So it kind of is like you're going through maps where you're going from air to water to like off-road onto streets and your car like does that weird Lego movie style thing where like
Okay.
it builds itself, it debuilds itself.
Kind of like those
Um
GTA races that where you're always transforming.
yeah, yeah, so something kind of like that. I know it's open world-esque.
Okay. Is it kind of like there's races, but there's also an open world where all the races take place? So you can kind of
Yes, yeah.
swimming
Yeah.
destroyable environment.
Yes, yeah, actually, you want to run into things. That's
Really?
kind of the thing where you're gathering parts when you run into something.
Now, do you think this will last longer than the hot rod racing game that came out last year?
Oh wow, yeah, I completely forgot about that. Probably. They put a lot of money into it, so hopefully it kind of sticks.
Yeah, Lego's just made of money. Speaking of
Oh
Lego,
God, yeah.
nostalgia hit. There used to be an online MMO for Lego, and I can't remember what it was called. It's old. This is me deep diving into ADD territory, railroad tracks of going anywhere. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Lego MMO. Just making a point.
But yeah,
And it was. I remember it being hosted on the same site that had like a Bionics. You remember Bionicles?
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Had tons of those. I'm trying to think of the Lego MMO though, because I do know there was that Lego Minecraft ripoff almost. Lego Worlds.
Yeah, no, it was oh man. The fact that there's been so many TV shows of so many games and like things attached that they're just gone. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a weird feeling. But like for instance, like Pirates of the Caribbean had its own MMO, but it
Yeah,
got
that
resurrected.
one I kind of remember.
It's got resurrected by its community in a sense, private servers and whatnot. There's Toontown, which is like the Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, I do remember that one.
What else? You heard Daigata Defenders? The guys like it was like the edgy roll the dice and summon things.
None. No.
No. Okay. What old games kind of you get thinking about that aren't around anymore?
Well, well, this just actually got me thinking. I was looking at PS Plus classic catalog, and then I just started feeling old, so I don't want to think about that anymore. Yeah, they were like calling Batman Arkham Asylum like a classic catalog
Oh yeah.
game. Yeah, so that kind of sucked.
All right. Well, I sent you the poster for the show. Does that ring any bells for you at all?
1 second. The chick on the left.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's this
Yeah,
this 4-player like online game where you got to make your own Daigata Defender. It's up to 4 people, and you'd actually go through and do what the protagonist did on your own kind of thing. They even had like a DS game as well. That you had your own little defender and stuff like that. But yeah. Oh, and what was there was one for the spiders one too. What was that spider show on Teletoon?
Was it like the rolling one? Because I know there was one that was just balls.
Spider Riders.
I do kind of remember that one. Do you remember Lunatics?
Yep. Was there a game off
Lunatics on
Lunatics?
No, I just now that we're talking about these, I saw a okay, never mind. I do not remember Spider Riders.
No, none at all.
No.
Okay.
Well, actually, there probably was a Lunatics game, probably a Flash game.
Yeah. Like there's even the login for the game.
Oh wow. Also, I love how these are coming in at like 180 by 180.
Yeah. Well, I'm pulling them off of Google Chrome, so just the thumbnails. But yeah. Like I know everyone from our generation knows Club Penguin, but you know what? There's the generations after ours that don't.
Oh no, they've never even heard of it. And that always makes me feel old when I don't want to.
And there's also going to be 2 people that are too old on the listening and being like, what's Club Penguin?
Yeah, we're in a weird age gap right now.
Oh, yeah.
But speaking of games, where are you playing right now? Besides Red Dead, obviously.
So my buddy who works in security in Scarborough, he sent me Deceived and Incorporated. Have you ever heard of that?
Deceive?
Yeah, Incorporated.
No.
All right, so I haven't played it yet, but I've looked into it. So essentially, you're trying to pull off a heist. There's other teams trying to pull off said heist, and you can disguise yourself as other as other NPCs. And
Yeah, I watched some gameplay on this now that I know it.
yeah, and so I'll keep describing for the audience, and
Yeah.
and you collect up the clues, you try and take out the other spies, and you try and pull off the heist.
Okay. Yeah.
Haven't tried it. Started dipping my toe back in Mountain Blade Bannerlord 2, an oldie but a goodie.
Very.
And Hunt Showdown.
Okay, yeah. That's a cool one.
Yeah, which is still going strong. And do you know when that game was released?
When?
27th of August 2019. The game's 4 years
Okay.
old and still has better matchmaking than Call of Duty.
Oh God, yeah, yeah. But that's a low bar, but yeah, it is really good for matchmaking.
Yeah.
Which is funny too, because it's duos, right?
Up to trios.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. And then
But yeah, usually that's hard to do.
we got Demonologist, which is essentially Phasmophobia, but you can exorcise the demons and ghosts.
Cool.
And it's made in the Unreal 5 engine. And so it's actually got some cool things. So there's this painting that says anger. And so if you don't clock it, you go into this one room and the door slams behind you, and the painting appears on the wall without the word anger, and it says, "Who am I?" and traps you in this
Ooh.
room. I don't know what happens if you don't get it right, because I did get it right, but
That is creepy. I don't like that, but I
Yeah.
love it at the same time.
And then there's this room with a wedding dress that as you walk into it, like the dress starts to kind of alter, and then the mannequin actually becomes the ghost and comes at you in that dress.
Oh, damn. Yeah, so they're actually like,
There's
it's meant to
scares.
really terrify you.
Yeah, and that's just the first map. I
Yeah.
haven't even unlocked the other two. It's another early access. But yeah, other than that, I've just kind of, I don't know. We had that bit of time we were doing Sea of Thieves. Wouldn't mind getting back into that. I know our buddies are getting into Sons of the Forest.
Yeah. Yeah, I know they're getting into that pretty hard.
Yeah, they got all the achievements that were saying hidden, and I was just waiting for the bugs to go. The bugs to get solved a bit longer
Yeah.
before I dive into that.
Yeah, I've seen some videos on it. The building mechanic in it is like incredible.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like the physics, if you remove a part of a structure, everything moves with it.
yeah. You can't. It's we're no longer in the era of like 2014 to like 2020, where buildings kind of just float.
Yeah. Yeah. Or if you like hit one, they all of a sudden just like poof and all the materials are falling down. It's like, no, stuff will lean to one side, it'll crack. Yeah, I
Oh.
like it.
Also, one thing I recently learned that at one point Star Wars rivaled World of Warcraft.
Really?
Yeah, there is this old MMO, Star Wars Galaxies.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Knights of the Old Republic.
No, Knights of the Republic is a lot newer than that one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Still kept alive
Okay.
by, private service and fan bases, but I don't know. I've just been on a kick of finding out about these old, like, rusted gems in the wild, the internet. But,
Brings back fond memories.
no, I don't have memories of those ones. But if folks are looking for kind of like an old school, like Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy kind of thing, that the game I mentioned before, the Sea of Stars, it's kind of looking a little bit like that. It's got like that top down turn based combat, environments well drawn and gorgeous.
Okay.
But they are kind of I'd say the sprites, they like, well, it doesn't take much. They beat Pokemon. It's 2D era. Um but like, here, I'll send you this one. Like the fact that like you can tell they have different sizes and weights, and they're not like kind of like the same kind of box shape that they come out like this cookie cutter.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
It's a very well done kind of older style game,
Yeah.
and
Oh, I like
we're
that.
seeing a resurgence of that like this May and June.
Yeah. Isn't there like a retro Doom style game coming out, but like with it being at like 120 FPS or something crazy like that? It feels really weird because it's almost like in between.
It might be the Warhammer bolt gun game because it was super
That might be
speed
it.
Doom style.
Yep. That's probably what it was.
All right.
Connecting the wires now.
But other than that, kind of not too much on the game news. Personal one that it's technically already out on the Epic Store, but it's coming to Steam on the 5th.
Yeah.
Is Darkest Dungeons 2.
Okay.
Have-
What's that?
So it's kind of a town builder, and the first one was it was a town builder, as well as send your guys out on D&D dungeon crawls, and it was turn based, and you had as well as you had to go through and get through the rooms, get through the traps and stuff like that. But it was
Okay.
also it's also kind of grim dark in the sense that like it's meant to be hard. You're not meant to survive, and it's kind of like the horrors and the darkness. And then the second
Okay.
one is kind of like the you didn't win the first game, and you're pushed out to this caravan, to now you're just trying to outrun all the things that came crawling out of the dungeon, and you're doing like this one last hurrah to try and pull off this job that might be a chance of saving your butt. And it's kind of a roguelike in the sense that you just kind of you keep trying, you unlock new characters, and you just keep doing the loop, from what I can tell.
Sounds anxiety inducing.
It's still the turn based. Like it's not anything like too intense.
Yeah.
It's just kind of one of those like, oh, I was underprepared for this boss, and now all these four characters are going to die, and now I'm gonna have to go train up four new ones that are gonna be at a disadvantage because I only have some high tier rooms left to go through.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No.
yeah. There's good and bad runs.
Yeah. I guess it's like when you finally do the good run, then it feels great.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just takes one bad run to ruin my night.
Speaking of bad run, what do you think of our last D&D session?
Yeah, yeah. So it might be our last session in this game world, which is great. It's real fun. Yeah,
He's got a
I'm
lot more
preparing for the
campaign
worst.
to go, but
Well, yeah, if we're all alive.
Orin will smite
D-
whatever. But
Oh yeah, no, definitely,
yeah,
definitely.
I
Yeah. So
smited the crab pretty good.
yeah, Wraith and I were talking. I think he can take down the ship. We're not going to focus on trying to beat the evil captain that Orin pissed off. So yeah, that's our plan. Just try our hardest to like make her not a problem. If this all goes south, which it almost most likely will.
Oh, it's already gone south.
Yeah, it's gone pretty south. Yeah, I'm just trying to be an
So I
optimist here.
decided last campaign we went to Pirate Island, and I went right to the captain's bar.
Yeah. And you're not a captain.
anymore.
Yep. The second I get in charge, all of a sudden, yep, we're about to die.
Yep. That's why I put
It's
you in
great.
charge. Take all the blame off me.
Yep. Yep.
Hey, it
Great.
was under Vickers' leadership.
Yeah, of course.
Things were better when I ran it. Was it really? Because they still sabotaged the wagon, the horses. They took the boat, which caused the village to burn.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love how Wraith was just like, no, that wasn't us. Yeah, he completely forgot about that.
No, he was
like,
saying it wasn't
completely.
him because he wasn't playing that character anymore.
Oh, right, technically. Yeah.
Yeah, he was playing on that. That's why he had that snarky laugh to it.
Yeah, it's technically not his fault anymore.
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
That's pretty funny.
One game I've been meaning to ADD Railroad get back into is Dying Light 2 with all the updates that have gone on to it. Check it out.
Actually, yeah. So am I. It's download on the PS5. I
Well,
need to try that out.
You know what? You could get your new PC going.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, no, that is now looking like a Christmas thing. Saving up for that one.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Plus, I got the wedding. But
Speaking of which, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. That was just for viewers out there. Yeah, I got engaged a week ago.
Yeah, my knees are still sore from asking.
Yeah. Yeah, that my body was killing me. I do not handle that type of stress well. I never have pimples, and I had about like 8 pimples just from stress. I don't know how to say this on the radio. It was coming out both ends. That's the best way I can put it. Yeah. I barely slept. I paced around a lot, and my partner realized something was up. I'm pretty sure she either thought I had cancer or was cheating on her. Yeah.
Wait, she thought you were cheating on her?
She thought something was up. She knew immediately, like, cause I had this planned for like a month, and the only way I could actually deal with it was by ignoring it completely. So I just acted like it wasn't happening. But when it came to like a week 2, excuse me, I like broke down. I was done. I was like, I don't know if she says no, I'm just taking the truck and the cat and I'm going north, and that's it. So
was I gonna see you up at the lot chopping wood?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I was just gonna probably turn into that God of War guy. Yeah. Yeah, like even now talking about it, I just get completely off. It was pretty funny though. So for all the listeners out there, she thought that she was going to a job with a friend of ours to go inspect a house up at Cordova Falls, which is just a really pretty falls up north, about an hour from our place. And I told her that I was working at the place I'm assistant manager at, and I was needed really early, and that I was also getting my suit steamed by my mother because we don't own an ironing board or anything like that, so it kind of worked out well there. And I drove up about a half hour earlier than she was coming up. So I got dressed in a suit in a boat launch and walked, I want to say, a quarter mile to the forest where we had pre-planned where she would be. And I realized later I was a guy in a dress shirt, dress pants, dress shoes, tie, and a suit vest with my hair all done, smoking darts, looking like a hitman, which was pretty cool. Cause I was wondering why all the hikers were avoiding me. Yeah, I didn't really pick up onto it until my friend afterwards was like, you look like you're down to some shady business right now, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, yeah. Didn't really pick up on that until you said that, because yeah, everyone gave me a pretty wide berth when they were walking by me, which is pretty funny. But yeah, there was a little pile of darts and right next to me because I was sweating buckets and yeah, yeah. It worked out. Worked out. She said yes, obviously, because the audio is not bad because I'm currently in a truck heading north. Yeah, yeah. So she said yes, and scarily enough, immediately started planning the wedding. Um,
How
bought
soon?
a let. Oh God, we're looking at a couple years at
Okay.
least.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
but no,
especially
she
with the
bought like
inflation in the economy, it's best to plan that out.
yeah,
But
yeah,
you
yeah.
already
Gonna
got the
budget.
house, so you're kind of already set.
Yeah, I'll admit it does make budgeting for stuff a lot easier with all that, but plus the mortgage rates were awesome when I got it. So no. Yeah, she already got that leather book thing and started printing out a bunch of organization stuff and all that. So yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Now, I know this might put you in danger saying it on the show. Do we want it? Do we want to take bets on Bridezilla?
Oh, she already that's actually funny. One of the first things she said is oh well no, the first thing she said is yes. Second thing is why did it take you so long? And third is I can't wait to be a bridezilla. No, she's totally down. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just seeing not the managing position she has at the one job coming in, but the demonic side of that going into
Oh.
play.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
I should have said because my only thing I said before this was I want food trucks at the wedding. I should have said something a lot more because I tried giving my 2 cents on something else and it was not a smart idea to do. So yeah, I'm kind of
Wait,
just taking a back seat.
yeah, so it's not your wedding, it's her wedding.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. She's all to her. She is making sure that I have a food truck there and Moscow mules. So I'm gonna be taken care of. Yeah, but it's pretty much her wedding.
Yeah.
But I like
Are
that
you gonna have that what do you call it? The unnamed, the mystery food trucker?
unnamed food truck. Yeah,
Are you gonna
yeah.
try and get them to cater?
He actually in our engagement photo on Instagram, he immediately said, "If you need a caterer, I know a good one with a winky face." Yeah, implying him because he has done some very few catering jobs before. He usually just does them for people that he knows really well, and thankfully I've helped him out enough that he said he'd be totally down for it. So
Nice.
that's gonna be pretty sick. Cause yeah, that greasy food will keep the booze down and keep the night going, which is pretty sweet. But yeah, yeah,
All right. How are we doing on
yeah.
time?
We're doing pretty good. I actually think this might be a bit of a short show.
All right. Yeah, I think that kind of concludes it for tonight. We're both recording this at a very late hour.
Yeah. Oh. One thing I do want to talk to maybe pad out this last couple minutes. Have you ever played the Spider-Man games?
um, the PS2
No, they're
ones.
yeah. That's funny. Our friend said the same thing. Um, I think the Spider-Man came out on PC not too long ago.
Yeah.
I recommend it. Definitely use a controller, but anyways, I started playing Miles Morales because I have that PS Plus extra, and oh my god, it got me back into the swing of things. But um,
Look,
yeah, no,
we both know it. I can't remember if it's Brooklyn or Boston. I think Brooklyn
yeah.
that it's spaced out of, and we both know how much you like, The Sopranos and things like that.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Um,
yeah, I don't think it even had to be Spider-Man. It just had to be based in that area with those accents.
which is funny because I've been to New York and I absolutely hate it. I can't stand it.
But
But yeah, I
you
love
love
the
the movie
culture.
magic of it.
Yep. Oh yeah, love the culture, love the hey, what you doing and stuff like that. Like, no, I can't get enough of it. But actually being there, it sucks, and I somehow gain an appreciation for Belleville anytime I leave to go to a big city. But yeah, um, one last thing, the Miles Morales, I finished it completely in like 2 weeks. But if you have not experienced what they did with the web swinging, you have to, because it's the only game that just going around the city feels awesome, just feels great. They used physics for the swinging. You actually have to be underneath something to swing from it, and based on where you are is how far your pendulum is, how far fast you're going down is how fast you swing out of it. You can do some amazing tricks. He actually, if he jumps off of tall enough of a building, he'll like backflip, and then he'll like be falling with his back to the ground, and he'll pull out his phone and start texting.
Hmm.
And then at the very last second, he puts his phone in and like flip and like just starts swinging. And it just has a really great atmosphere that built into it.
Yeah.
And yeah, yeah, I can't give it enough praise. It's like a cleaner version of the Spider-Man game that came out,
Yeah.
and it's more has more character.
Yeah.
Has a lot more character to it.
Well, like Spider-Man, like Peter, he's kind of cookie cutter, whereas
Yeah,
the other ones.
Miles.
No, I'm not even just talking Miles. I'm talking
Oh,
like Spider-Man Noir, all the other ones like that. They're not. Like if you ever watch like Into the Spider-Verse, great movie, and the sequel comes
yeah.
out at some point soon. Um, but yeah, no, it's like all the other stories. They're there and they're kind of awesome. The
And
Sorry, go ahead.
spe- speaking of the Into the Spider Verse, one of the suits you can get, because that's a big thing in the games, is it suits from all like the weird
Yeah,
comic books and stuff like that. They actually have the Into the Spider Verse suit for Miles, and you unlock when you unlock this suit, you unlock two modifiers that make the world the same frame rate as the movie, as well as add like the boom, pow, pop when you hit an enemy. And like the suit is cell shaded to how it looks in the movie, and it is too much fun.
yeah. I think I might have
Yeah.
mentioned this in a previous episode. And we got talking about cinematography and animation and everything else like that. But one thing that was cool with that movie was the entire time Miles was moving at like 24 frames per second, where everyone else was moving at 30.
Right.
And
Right, right,
and
right.
and then when he got his confidence and like was and he they did that dive where he was falling down, but he was ascending. And the way they did
Yeah.
that, at that point, he started animating at 30 FPS.
That is so cool. Yeah, I love it because it's like it's one of those tricks that like the movie makers really appreciate and the audience appreciates it, but doesn't really know
And
why.
then the nerd, it's like me.
Yeah, they pick up on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Well, I read about it, and then I went back and watched it again, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you would immediately pick up on it as soon as you see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, um, and actually we're kind of getting close to time, so I have one last thing to pad out. I uh I have confirmed that me and the partner do not want kids. You want to know how I found that out?
I thought that was the ongoing joke for a while, but yeah, go ahead.
Life is Strange 2. Tried playing it, and we both hated it. We both agreed that we had to look after the kid, make sure that he's having a good time and he's happy. For just a little bit of context, Life is Strange 2, you're two brothers and you're playing the big brother looking after the younger brother. It sucks if you don't like kids. Because, oh my god, just like every little action you do is impressioned on this little kid, and he acts accordingly, and we hate it.
Yeah. So
Have you ever played?
I played like the first episode.
Yeah, yeah, we played to like 15 minutes into episode 2, and we turned it off and we downloaded True Colors. I'm interested to see how that goes.
I actually eventually want to get us all sat down and do a thing where like, because they're like almost movie enough like games where if we got the whole group and just like knocked out the 3 games, that'd be a fun time. It'd be a
That'd be a good
big
one.
commitment.
Or the Dead or Until Dawn, one of those games would be really fun. The Quarry.
It would have to not be Until Dawn, but any of the other ones would be fine. Just because, or the one with the boat, because I know all the endings for both.
Yeah, we just finished Little Hope. We've not played Man of Medan much. We didn't enjoy that too much, and I really badly want to play the one that's a documentary film,
The
guys.
hotel guy, or
Yeah,
yeah,
that one looks really, really, really good.
yeah.
And with that yawn or grunt, I think we're safe to end off the episode.
That's the back pain.
Yeah. All right. So this has been On the Rewind, broadcasting on Amherst Island 101.3 FM and streaming on Spotify, Apple Music, pretty much anywhere you listen to podcasts. We're going to be there. Thank you so much. There's not a Spotify extended edition this week just because we recorded a bit late. Thank you very much for listening. I'm Adam,
I'm Derek.
and thank you.
Thanks for listening to On the Rewind.